Now, just months after signing a bill that cut taxes for the wealthiest Americans and giant corporations, Donald Trump, surprise, surprise, is talking about destroying welfare programs. Now, in an executive order signed Tuesday afternoon, President Trump directed the Departments of Health and Human Services, Housing and Urban Development, Agriculture, and other agencies to make a top-to-bottom review of their safety net programs. They said the goal is finding ways to push more people into the workforce and off of welfare. You know what that means? Here comes giant cuts. Now, the order, they said, will restore independence and dignity to millions of Americans, according to Trump in a statement. Now, how do they plan to do that? Well, again, they're going to go after these programs by instituting rigid work requirements. Now, for example, work requirements that are already in Kentucky, Indiana, and Arkansas recently got the green light this year. And basically what that means, work requirements, is where able-bodied adults have to work as a condition of keeping their health benefits. Now, okay, well, look, if you're somebody who requires medication to live and to function, and you can't find a job, well, you're screwed. Oh, need your medication this month so you can live and function and work? Well, too bad. You got to work for it. If you can't find a job, sad day for you. Now, what about the people who can't find work, right? Or people who have health issues but are not quite disabled, and there's certainly only a limited amount of jobs that they can actually do, right? Like physically do, but without being disabled, because disability has an incredibly high bar for you to be able to get. It's not easy to go and get disability. Oftentimes you have to apply more than 2, maybe 3 times, get denied, gigantic waiting periods to be able to even receive benefits. And you have to prove, of course, that you are disabled. It's not as easy as Republicans and some Democrats would like to point out to get on disability. It's actually very difficult. So, look, there are people in between that are filing for disability that can't necessarily work, that rely on these programs. What are you going to tell them? Go find a job. You've got to work. You got to work to get your medication. But what if you, as I said before, you can't find that kind of job that you're actually able to physically or mentally do? So that's very difficult, right? Now, Medicaid recipients, of course, look, they're not the only ones that have suffered cutbacks on their health care and on their benefits. In December, the Agriculture Department said it would give states greater control over the SNAP program, opening the door to potential new work requirements or drug testing. And of course, just today, Donald Trump said, let's drug test people for food stamps. Here we go. Here we go again, man. Look, it's been proven because a lot of these states have had trial programs where they would go and drug test welfare recipients. And you know what ended up happening? The state wasted a ton of money. And funny enough, these drug companies, often tied to some of the politicians that had helped pass these drug testing bills, ended up making a shit ton of money. That's all it is. It's just a gigantic scam to make drug testing companies money and also demonize people on welfare as people who do drugs. In fact, very, very few people that were tested in these pilot programs for welfare were found to actually be on drugs and were kicked off. The state spent more money on the drug testing programs than it actually saved. And look, in some of these, they might actually make the people getting tested pay. So that's disastrous in its own right. Oh, you're poor? We're going to make you pay to take a drug test to make sure that you can get benefits. But wait, I'm poor. I can't afford that drug test to begin with. How am I supposed to get benefits? I don't know, man. Sad day for you. I guess you don't get benefits in the first place. So we can take that money now as a government and go give it to the rich in tax cuts. See, they know how this is going. Now, that's not the only program. At HUD, Secretary Ben Carson has apparently limited the amount of help for people who need affordable housing. Oh, you're poor, you need affordable housing? Yeah, we're going to cut back on the aid so that you can pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. But you ain't got no boots. You ain't got no straps. You ain't got nothing. That's why we're coming to you for help. That's why these programs are supposed to be in place. But of course, look, Donald Trump and all these Republicans that get put into these positions, they were put there by Donald Trump to eliminate these programs. And that's exactly what they're doing. And of course, they're going to use the gigantic tax cuts, the debt, the $1.9 trillion deficit that these tax cuts have created to justify these cuts. So all that is connected. That was the entire plan in the first place. So now, let me go to a statement here from Taryn Bragdon, president of the Foundation for Government Accountability. Now, this is a so-called small government group based in Florida who agrees with this. He says, despite there being 6 million open jobs across the nation, there's a record number of able adults trapped on welfare. Oh, they're trapped. It's such a terrible trap. Really? Is it? Oh my God, I can actually afford food this month because I'm poor and can't find a good job. And by the way, most of the people that are on food stamps actually do work. Either they work or they're children or they're actually disabled. So that's the majority of people on food stamps to begin with. But no, there's so many people, able-bodied adults, and we got 6 million jobs. Well, they can just go and get off the dole and go get one of those jobs. Well, are they good paying jobs? If they're not minimum wage jobs, if they actually do pay a living wage, okay, then great. You should maybe do job training programs, or find a way to connect those people with those good paying jobs. But if they're all minimum wage jobs, that's not going to help. That's not going to bring you out of poverty. $7.25 is a poverty wage, and that is the federal minimum wage. It's not going to help at all. Again, you're going to get these people into these jobs, and they're still going to have to collect food stamps. But he continues, this executive order is a strong signal that the Trump administration intends to change that. No, they don't. All they intend to do is to finally finish their dream of cutting Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, food stamps, housing assistance, and all these safety net programs for the poor so they can take that money and they can give it to the rich. That's what the plan has been all along. That's what Republicans stand for. Look, one of the reasons that I said Paul Ryan has decided to quit, other than, of course, having to deal with Trump, because nobody wants to do that, is that he's already achieved his life goal. By getting the gigantic Trump tax cuts passed, he has ensured that every politician in the future, Republican politician, now has the ammunition to call for gigantic cuts in entitlement programs. Oh, look at the debt. We got to do something about the debt. And you know what's going to happen? Establishment Democrats, centrist Democrats, they're going to also end up having to pay off that bill. Look, what can we do? We can't raise taxes on you guys. We definitely can't raise taxes on the rich. We can't. What are we going to do? We're going to have to cut Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. I'm sorry, we're going to have to do a grand bargain with the Republicans for deficit reduction. You don't think that's going to happen? It almost happened under President Obama. It most likely will definitely happen if we get another establishment Democrat into office. That's why we got to vote for progressives that will actually put forward progressive priorities, progressive policies. But anyway, look, Republicans, they admitted it. They hate the poor. They've said so themselves, and they want to, they'll go to no lengths to end up cutting the benefits that they need, all while simultaneously cutting taxes for millionaires and billionaires. That has been the plan all along, and now, finally, they get to enact it. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron. at patreon.com/TYTNation.